Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about every single heroic weapon in Space Marine 2 patch 14 and which one you should buy first in the new update. Now we have 6 new heroic weapons. The official release is finally here on Steam at least, and some of these heroics have been buffed, some of their stats are properly showcasing now, so I want to talk about which ones I think are worth your time based on just their PTS stats and also the new options we have here. So the first thing I'll go into is the melee selection. So number 1, we have the Salamander's Power Sword. This is like the premier go-to weapon for a lot of people this patch. The heroic perk effect is called Nocturne's Retort. Perfect parry to empower the blade and deal 300% more damage to the next light attack in speed style. Hold up to 6 in power stacks. The parry window is smaller. So this is actually a very strong heroic weapon, really. The empower stacks here, you will get 3 empower stacks per perfect parry now, as opposed to the previous 1, which makes this weapon actually pretty strong for like light combos. I think this is actually the most powerful fencing option of the power swords currently, and of the 2 really. And this one is definitely worth your time now. It's much better than it was in the PTS. Unfortunately, there is no burning effect as far as I know, but this is still a very strong weapon. If you really want to take this, if it's something you want to use, you can definitely do that. You will not be disappointed in terms of damage. Unfortunately, there is no burn though. Now, as far as the other option here goes, the Lord Executioner's Axe. This one is pretty much the same as it was before. The stats are exactly like they were on the PTS, and the heroic perk effect here is called Whirling Strike. Aftershock is placed by a powerful spinning attack. Hitting 5 more enemies with a single attack grants 1 Adrenaline Surge stack. So this thing is actually pretty strong. It is identical to how it played in the public test server, and because of that, I can confidently tell you that you should pick this one up out of the box. It was already like one of the best options on the PTS, and in the official patch release, it feels just as good. So I would definitely suggest this one. The Whirling Strike is a ton of fun to use. The aftershocks feel really good in this thing. In a lot of cases, the spinning attack you have here, it will hit enemies behind you that you would really not expect, so it's definitely worth a pick up. And I think this one's a great side grade to the Relic Tier Block Thunderhammer. Now, the one from the heroic store that a lot of people were curious about is the Deathwatch Power Fist. This one had no stat changes from the PTS. It is exactly the same as it was there. They did say they upped the responsiveness for this one. I have not personally tested this, but if you want to have like a gimmicky effect on your Deathwatch heroic Power Fist to inflict burn, because the heroic perk effect here says combi weapon, pause after any light attack to enter a stance and light attack again to fire a Melt Blast and inflicts a burn status, you can definitely do that. This is a great weapon for just having like a little bit of a fun effect, but as far as like the overall stat spread for this one goes and the burn effect, I think this one is the weakest option of the melee selection this patch. It doesn't really like hit me like I would expect with the Lord Executioner's Axe or the Salamander's Power Sword. And as far as the stat spread goes, a 16 strength, 6 speed, 13 clean potential on a balanced defense type on a Power Fist just makes it far worse than the Relic Tier option in terms of just like an effective weapon. But the perk effect here is pretty fun. If you like burn, like a little burn effect on your weapon, it is fun for that, but it's a bit of a gimmick. Now, for the ranged weapons, they have actually fixed up the stat spread of these. They're mostly the same. So first up, we got the Combi Flamer. They have finally showcased the proper firepower on this one. Previously, it was showing the identical number as the Relic Tier. This one is now a 6 firepower, 5 accuracy, with like a little bit of an upped magazine size. So it's actually pretty good. I think bulk carbines are strong enough in Space Marine 2 that even without a flamethrower attached to them, with the Combi Flamer attachment here, it is pretty much always worth using. The CHP recovery here is very high, just like every other option for the Relic Tier, and even though the ammo capacity here is a little bit higher on that magazine, you do lose a bit on the overall ammo reserves, which does suck a little bit, but you also get a flamethrower, so if you want to take that, you definitely can. I don't think this one seems like ridiculously strong, but it is still in a pretty good spot compared to where it was in the PTS, and I assume that the ammo problems that it had where like you couldn't recover your Pyroblast for ammo at ammo caches and loadout stations has been fixed from the PTS as well. Now, the one a lot of people have been asking about is the Salamander's Melter Rifle. So this one just got a firepower buff. They upped the damage here, and I'll be real, even on the public test server, this weapon was already pretty good. A firepower buff was really all needed in my opinion, and as far as like the best class for this, I think that's just the tactical. Like tactical, the Salamander's Melta, if you put down Auspex scans like precise calibration and concentrated fire, and build for pure range damage, this one feels really good. You will have pretty much infinite ammo off of Emperor's Vengeance as usual. The only place I see this one kind of struggling is on the Vanguard, where his ammo economy is just not that strong. And even though you do have perks down here like Decisive Reload, I think he is personally better off taking the relic tier options just because these fit the close range playstyle of that class a bit more, and their ammo economy for horde clear is a bit better. So I think this one's definitely better on tack, but you can definitely take it wherever you want. The final one here is the Death Watch Stalker Bolt Rifle. This one also has a fixed up stat spread, as a firepower of 10, accuracy 10, a rate of fire 3, which puts it very close to the relic tier option here. You can definitely tell that in game, and the piercing 1. So this one is pretty fun. I think the gun portion of this is actually pretty strong. It's pretty much identical to the way it was on the public test server, and I'll say even though you do lose a bit on the ammo, the headshot multiplier here is identical to this one, and the heroic perk effect says reconnaissance by fire, landing 4 successful body shots in short succession creates a small Auspex scan area, cooldown is 8 seconds. So I mean, I think this perk effect is not very good as a change. So a lot of people were curious, like we all thought this was bugged on the PTS, but this one says that landing 4 successful body shots is actually the intended effect. I'll be real, that's a stupid effect. They should just make this headshots as well, because that kind of goes against the entire idea of a bolter weapon like this. And you also got to keep in mind that the Deathwatch Stalker Bolt Rifle, this thing has 1 piercing. You will hit like nothing behind the first enemy you shoot, and because of that, the weapon here is kind of like gridlocked against one guy, which already sucks on its own, but when you're forced to body shot them to then get more damage, like what's the point of putting down Auspex scan area on one guy when you could just shoot them in the head and actually kill them? So I think this one definitely needs to look at. Maybe it's just like up this for the maybe like change the scan area, because the previous Auspex scan buff to this wasn't even properly working with the precise calibration, stuff like that, and the Auspex perks on this guy. It's like a completely separate effect. That might still be true, but considering they carried over everything else from the public test server, I imagine that is just the case for this one. But that is all there is for this video, guys. I think the best picks at the moment are the Lord Executioner's Axe, the Salamander's Power Sword, and probably your choice of the Salamander's Melter Rifle or Combi Flamer. I think the Stalker Bolt Rifle is a good gun. It just uses like a bit of a buff on the heroic perk effect, and the other option here, the Deathwatch Power Fist, this one is just like, it's a fun effect. It's just not that, you know, unique or interesting. Well, it's pretty unique, but it's not that strong. And that's pretty much all I have to say in this one, guys. If you like content like this, subscribe for more. If you want to catch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description. Also a link to my community Discord. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.